Alright, back again, Luke here, and today what I thought I'd do is kind of make a video for you guys to explain a little bit more about Japan or help you guys out if you're thinking about coming to Japan. After looking at a lot of the comments that I got on my Akihabara video, a lot of people were asking about different things that they saw in the videos, wanted to know a little bit more information about Japan before coming, and I thought I'd kind of make this, I guess it's a Q&A, but I'd try and answer some of those questions for you guys so you can have a little bit more info before coming here. I can't remember all the questions off the top of my head, but I'll try my best to answer the ones that I do remember. One of the first ones that I remember seeing was that in the video, a lot of people saw that Japanese people were wearing white masks and wanted to know what the white masks were all about. Well, in Japan here, basically out of common courtesy and also to protect your own health, Japanese people usually wear a mask. There are many different reasons for it. If people are sick, like they have a cold, they generally don't want to give the cold to someone else, so they'll wear a mask to be kind of polite. The other way around, if someone is sick and they don't want to catch a cold, they'll wear a mask to kind of protect themselves from getting sick. And in some situations, hay fever is really, really bad here. So people who suffer from hay fever usually wear a mask, usually take lots of different medicine in order to prevent the hay fever from getting too out of control. So those are some of the reasons why people wear the masks around here. I know it's kind of shocking, and when I first came to Japan too, I thought, wow, you know, everybody's kind of like a doctor, but in fact, it's just to, you know, be courteous to others if you have a cold and to kind of prevent yourself from getting a cold. Other things in the videos, people were mentioning that a lot of people were wearing a lot of white dress shirts. And I think the main reason for that is because people in Japan generally, I think the society is built up more of a white-collar worker than it is blue-collar workers. A lot of different places you go to big cities or you go to main areas, and you'll see a lot of people wearing business suits and or white dress shirts. And that's because just the typical fashion sense for white-collar workers is just a white dress shirt, black suit, and a necktie. But since right now it's extremely hot, they've started something that's been going on for quite some time. It's called a cool biz. And what they've done is in a lot of the working areas, they've changed the temperature down to like 27 degrees as Celsius, and then they've allowed people to not wear neckties to kind of I guess to balance it off. Before, they used to crank on the air conditioning really low, and it used to cause a lot of power consumption and things like that. But now they've tried the Cool Biz, which is where you can wear no necktie, and they try and not change the temperature too much of the room, but you still feel comfortable. So that's one of the reasons why you see a lot of people wearing white dress shirts and just black suits. It's for the most part, there's a lot of similarities with different things, not only just the clothes, but some people had mentioned like hairstyles are very similar. In Japan, basically, conformity is seen as a good thing. Sticking out of the crowd and being extremely different is not necessarily a good thing in Japan. They have a Japanese traditional saying that means basically, if you're the person sticking out in the group, then you're the one who's going to get kind of pushed away or pushed out of the group. So a lot of people try and just act similar to each other, and they try and dress the same, attitudes are the same, and it just kind of keeps everything going smoothly. So that's the reason for that. The maids, a lot of people were asking about the maids in the video. There are things called maid cafes, and for some guys, the animation scene is really, really big, and some people really get a little bit too excited over the animation and get drawn into the characters more than just accepting it for artwork, but more of like a connection, kind of like an attraction. And so what they've done is they've created these different kind of places you can go. Maid cafes, which is where girls dress up like maids. They act really cutesy. And, you know, they serve your dinner or lunch, and they feed you. They put little heart marks on it. They use a really cute voice and things. And for some guys, they really do enjoy it. So, on the other side, they have something called butler cafes, which some people don't know about, which are for the women. And it's basically the same kind of concept. The guys are dressed up like butlers, and it's for the girls to kind of come in and get treated, you know, with the respect and the kind of, what is it, the 1920s idea of men being very courteous, opening doors and doing everything for them. So it's just a costume play, a cosplay they call it in Japan, kind of thing, and a lot of people get into it. So that's what the maids are there for. Let me see what else. Coming to Japan. If anyone is thinking about coming to Japan, there's some things that you should probably consider. One of those is finances, and when you come to Japan, it's not cheap. You will run out of money very quickly, and that's just due to the fact that everything, including cost of living, food, is really expensive. So what I recommend doing is, if you are thinking about seriously coming to Japan, to bring about $3,000 or more. And it may seem like a lot, and some people may think, wow, I didn't bring $3,000 when I went the first time, but you will be so surprised on how little you know, you can get with $3,000, or how quickly it'll go. To give you an example, just going out for a night of like maybe karaoke, doing some drinking, or you know, just eating for a day, you might wind up spending 20,000 yen, which is about $200. And it all depends on what you do. If you're really frugal, you find a guest house or something to stay at, and you're able to spend your money wisely, that might last you a long time. But when I first came out here, I was told that we should bring at least $3,000. So yeah, that's one thing that I recommend. The other thing I recommend doing is brush up a little bit on Japanese. If anything, just try and learn some survival Japanese, or get yourself like a survival booklet that should have some useful Japanese phrases. Like with any country, where's the restroom, how much is this, can you help me, things like that. Those will really help you out in Japan. Be prepared to not always understand the answer to those, but generally in Japan there's a big fear of native English speakers or Westerners. The main reason is because in Japan a lot of people, although they study English, they don't use it. They don't speak it very much. So there's a fear of not being able to answer something, which Japanese people are really scared of or worried of. So if they see a foreign person walking up to them really quickly, and they look like they're going to speak, some people will panic, some people will try and run away. It depends on the situation, but if you're able to try and, your first words are not hello, you know, if you say sumimasen or something like that, and you start off the conversation by trying to use Japanese, you might get a better reaction than if you kind of run up to someone and say, oh, excuse me, can you tell me this? Usually people panic, so get a little bit of Japanese underneath your belt before coming here. Culture shock. If you've never been out of your country, or you've never had any experience with other cultures before, coming to Japan will be a huge culture shock. A lot of the signs, or a lot of the information, a lot of the news, everything will be in a different language. And since English is not a super prominent language here, it's getting better and better, but still, English is really, really low as far as understanding and usage. You might find yourself getting lost or confused, or panicking. Some people have panic attacks here by not thinking about, okay, I'm going to a foreign country and it's not going to be a place where I can use English easily. So as long as you can deal with that, get used to that, and then when you come here, realize that fact, you should be all set. Some bigger cities or big tourist areas will be a lot easier to use English, whereas some of the smaller cities or some of the outskirt communities, those will be really difficult to try and use English. But some people asked why I came out to Japan, and main reasons why I came out to Japan is when I was in college. I finished college and I didn't have a lot of job possibilities. The economy wasn't doing so good, so like a lot of college graduates, I wound up getting out of college and looking for a job and not finding anything, and then doing something part-time just to to make things, to make ends meet. But it was really painful, and it took a really long time to try and find something. And I was always interested in gaming repairs. I was interested in Japan, and a couple of my friends were interested in Japan as well. So I think there was just one time where I kind of hit the breaking point and said, you know, I can't do this. You know, I was kind of living on a buddy's sofa, and I was working at a place under the table, you know, and I just wasn't happy. So I thought to myself, you know, I can do better than this. So I came to Japan, I got a job, and started working here, and, you know, I've been pretty much happy ever since. I guess that kind of goes on to one of the other things. If you're thinking about moving or living in Japan, some things that you need to do are, you definitely have to have a passport. You can't have any criminal record, you know, whatsoever. Japan is really strict on that. Other things, you have to have a college degree. So it can be a Bachelor of Science, it can be a Bachelor of Business or Business Administration, it can be a Bachelor of Arts, it can be MD, anything from a university. Any kind of degree from a university is okay, but if you don't have a university degree, you cannot find a job, or it's extremely hard to find a job in Japan. Some things that I recommend doing if you're thinking about coming over to Japan to work or to stay is possibly get a 3-month working visa, and if you can find a job. Some places that I really recommend trying to find jobs are Ion. These are English schools, and English schools are a really great place to try and, you know, get your foot in the door and allow you to stay in Japan and enjoy Japan for a little while. The names of these English schools, Ion, that's A-E-O-N. They do different kinds of interviews in the United States and around the world, and they have different locations. For myself, I'm from Michigan, so in Michigan they had places like Ann Arbor where they would set up a day for recruiting, a day for test lessons, because you have to create a test lesson for the company just to show them what you're able to do. And yeah, if they accept you, then you can go on from there. But Eon is one of them. ECC, I don't know if Geos, G-E-O-S, I don't know if they're still around anymore. But other language companies, what else is there? GABA, G-A-B-A, and these kind of places will give you an idea of what you'll need to do in order to get a job in Japan. They'll tell you the basics, the rules about Japan. If you pass the interview process, then you'll be able to come to Japan, and you'll get a chance to work here, and it'll be a pretty good experience. It'll be a good opening for you, and I recommend that for a lot of people. When you do an interview for a job, like an English teaching job, for example, in the States or in another country for Japan, I recommend not going overboard and not showing how smart you are. For example, like trying to teach iambic pentameter or some sort of like Shakespeare novel, because in Japan it's not about the level of like intelligence. It's how can you make someone who doesn't understand a foreign language understand one. So try and take the perspective of trying to teach a child, and think of something that's fun, like a child's game, a children's game that you can use, and then use that for your interview. That's what I really recommend, because by doing that and by being able to get the point across and helping out, you know, someone like who has absolutely no idea about a foreign language, and being able to teach them something, you got a better chance of getting a job here. But what else was I gonna say? I'm just kind of rambling here. So yeah, I'm from Michigan, and I spent, you know, most of my life in Michigan, and it was great. Although when you come to Japan and you try and tell them, hey, I'm from Michigan, they're just like, Mississippi? And you're like, well, yeah, oh, okay, fine, it's close enough. But yeah, so having a really, you know, an interest in a lot of other cultures, Japan is really a great place to come. And you can always teach them a lot of the Japanese people something new, and they're always really pleased to learn something new. But on the same note, you can also learn something new every day in Japan, and the more and more you get to know about it, the more fun you'll have. I guess on that note too, when you come to Japan, there's kind of like a roller coaster of a mood change, I guess. When you first come here, it's kind of like the honeymoon phase, where you just go through this extreme excitement and everything's new and wild and you really enjoy it. And after you stay here for a short period of time, things like not being able to talk to friends, not having a lot of grasp on the language, these things will start to bring you down, and you'll start to feel kind of depressed and then want to go home. But then you'll start to feel like, okay, it's not worth giving up, and if you try to study a little bit of Japanese and you try your best in Japan to get along, to fit in, you'll go through the the fun phase again. So there's a lot of different phases that you'll go through while you're here in Japan. But let me see, what else? What else can I really say? A lot of different questions. I trying to read through as many as I could. There's just an unbelievable amount. But yeah, games, different kind of games. If you're looking to buy games here, there's a lot of great places you can buy stuff. Hard Off. People ask me where Hard Off is at. There's Hard Off in many different locations. In Tokyo, there's Hard Off in Hachioji City. There's a Hard Off in Seiseki, Sakuragaoka. There's a Hard Off in Machida City. There's a Hard Off in, where is it? Horinouchi City. There's a Hard Off in, I think, Shinjuku, or around Shinjuku area. There's also different chains that are called Book Off, and Book Off is basically a chain with Hard Off. There's Hard Off, Book Off, House, or Off House, what else is it? Garage Off. There's just so many different ones. Some specialize in automobile parts, some specialize in furniture and clothing, other ones specialize in books, and then hardware, junk, and gaming stuff, and things like that. So there's just a lot of different stores around here. The reason why I haven't been making so many Hard Off videos recently, and I know you guys really like them, and I love going to Hard Off myself, but I don't have the car anymore, so getting out to these places, it's not really convenient to go there by train. If you decided to go somewhere near a Hard Off station or a Hard Off shop near the station, you're still looking at maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 minute, maybe even 30-minute walk from the station to get to the store. Some places you have to take a bus or stuff, so I just haven't had the opportunity to do that, so I haven't been making a lot of Hard Off videos. But when I get a chance, I'll try and get back on there and try and make some more Hard Off videos for you guys, because I know you like them. I like it too. And what else here? There was a great, I really enjoy all of the different support and the help, the tips on different things. Actually, last night I did something which I probably shouldn't have done, but I was going through my emails, and a really great YouTuber sent me a message saying, "Hey Luke, I know that you were still looking for such and such game, and I found it here on the auctions, so you might want to take a look at it." And I looked at it and I thought, okay, well maybe this auction's over. But I went and clicked on it, and sure enough the auction was still going, and my eyes just lit up, and I was like, wow, alright, this is something that I've wanted for a long time, and this is something that I've been going after, and it's not common, so I got into this bidding war, and I started bidding, and this other guy was not letting up easy. Every time I bid on it, he just, jumped back, and I kept putting in more, and he kept coming back, so I emailed the YouTuber back and said thanks a lot for the tip, but unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be able to get it. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I'm still losing this bid and this bidding war, so I said, alright, I can go about another 3,000 yen, but that's going to break the bank. And so I put in another 3,000 yen. I sat there just waiting, and I'm looking at the time go down. There was like 3 hours left on it, and I just said, okay, fine, if he gets it, then that's fine. I don't care. So I came back. There was 1 hour left, and still me as the top bid. thought, all right, wow, I'm getting excited now. And then finally, when the bid was over, I wound up winning the bid. So there should be a package coming soon. I'm really excited about this one. A little bit worried on the same note because the seller, although he has perfect feedback, he said that this was not tested. But from my knowledge of this, it's not something that can be tested very easily, so it might be in perfect working condition. I'm not sure. I'm just keeping my hopes up. But for the price I paid for it, I hope it is. But yeah, I know this is probably a really long video here, and you know, some guys maybe, you know, someone may be getting a little bit bored. I'm not sure, but I just thought I'd answer a few questions here for you know, regarding Japan and regarding myself, and kind of give you guys a little bit of some insight here about what's been going on recently and why things happen around Japan the way they do. But that's about enough rambling for me for right now. But yeah, like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching.